Hello, hello, hello. We are back again.
Yo, everybody.
Hello, Eva. Thank you for coming in from the other stream. Did you mess up what channel you were on, Bungle?
I mean, I think I finally have both the YouTube and the Twitch up at the same time. So
okay, I did not see the little symbol. I just thought it was both on YouTube. I was like, did you log into the wrong thing?
It's like, all right, last time all I had was YouTube. This time I'm like, no, everybody was like, all the cool kids went to Twitch, and I was like, I feel so left out.
Well, last time I had closed my Switch dashboard down because the internet was hiccuping slightly or whatever, and it wasn't affecting stream, but it was affecting me. So I was like, oh, just close the browser, and then everybody went to Twitch. So I was like, well, F that. Now I have to reopen it.
I know, now it's weird. Every time I look over here to see our actual video chat, I have you way up here, and then I have us again, both of us on the Twitch chat, and then both of us on the YouTube chat. I'm just like, wow, this my eyes are going cross seeing us so many times.
Well, you can pop out at least the YouTube chat.
I mean, I probably could, but at this point I'm like, I think that would end up causing more confusion than it's worth.
Yeah, fair. Let's see.
But now I've done it anyway. So there we go. All right.
Yes.
How about you? How are you doing today?
I am doing okay. I sent out my video for the Tube Secret Santa thing. So hopefully everything is good and they don't reply back to me and be like, you need to fix this one thing. And I'm like... So hopefully it's fine.
Do I have to?
And that will be out the 16th if I remember correctly, because my deadline to send the video was the 12th, so I'm pretty sure it's the 16th.
Well, congratulations.
Yes.
Anytime you get stuff done, it's always such an accomplishment. I know on my end today it was totally Monday. It felt like there was so much going on, and I'm just so glad I get to just sit back, relax, write something, and escape into another world for a little bit.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I have to finish editing my stupid goals video, and I was like, nope, I'm gonna read Good Omens fanfiction instead after I sent this email.
I am on board with this decision.
I try really hard not to get invested in really long fan fictions. I'm like, okay, 5 chapters max, or 40,000 words max. Yeah, nope. I pressed the button on a 21 chapter thing. I'm like, I'll read it slowly. And I read 10 chapters today.
Gosh, there was a time that I used to, so I probably mentioned when I was younger, I had a lot of health issues, and I was having to go see a lot of doctors and a lot of different stuff. So I used to, because I'm ancient and I didn't have a smartphone at the time. No, I was so ancient that I didn't have a smartphone when I was a teenager, and therefore I actually printed out my fan fictions to read while I was in doctor's office waiting rooms.
I didn't know fan fiction was a thing until high school.
I mean, that was about when I found it too, when I was in high school. I mean, fanfiction.net has been around a long time.
No, senior. Because around my junior year is when Dad stopped super screening everything I did on the
Oh,
computer.
like he would have known what fanfiction.net was. Like he would have just been like, "Oh,
Dad
you're reading."
looked at almost everything.
Yeah, he would have read all of the stories you were reading. He can't even.
He would have looked at the tags and been like,
No, he would have looked at the titles. All you had to do was read a story that had a pretty, nothing, a title that was just like, yeah, that could mean anything. As long as the title wasn't like, and he took it up the butt, then it would have been fine.
That was also when he started letting me read mature manga, and my only rule was don't let my siblings look at or read what I was reading. So,
and aloha,
hi there.
Nicole.
So yeah, it took a while, and though to be fair, when I was reading it, I was reading like teen sweet things because I was scared. Mostly because I was scared.
Innocent romances that were just like,
oh, thank you,
I was
Writer Dahlia.
too scared to kiss. Oh, Writer Dahlia subscribes to you. Nice.
Yeah, I was reading like sweet things, to be fair, because I was kind of scared. When I got out of high school, that's when I found, what was it? Adult fan fiction. Whatever.
Okay, so I'm not even sure if most people have even ever heard of this website, but when I was in high school, one of the websites that was on my web history far too much was this website literally called adultfanfiction.net.
I think that's what it was that I had found. I didn't know about AO3 until...
Oh, AO3 is the new kid on the block. They are absolutely the new kid. And I even feel like AO3 was kind of started by a bunch of people that were very frustrated with fanfiction.net's directions.
Really?
Like there's basically one couple that makes every decision for fanfiction.net, and they run it kind of like, it's their own little kingdom, and they get volunteers to do a bunch of other stuff. And when they made a bunch of decisions for how advertisements and like the kind of things they were going to be pushing onto readers on the site, there were basically a bunch of site admins for ff.net that were like, we are not cool with this, and if you don't change this, we're going to go do our own thing. And that's basically how AO3 came about.
See, the way people make it sound, they make it sound like it was like either around the same time or really old when people talk about AO3. And that's what I literally just I stumbled upon AO3 because I couldn't find fan fiction for Strange Magic, which is a little animated movie that George Lucas did on a whim because he wanted to do something fun. And it's very much like what do they call it? It's a movie that has a very basic plot, but there are definitely like some slightly subverted things, but all the music is just music that you've already heard from other things, with the highlight music being Strange Magic. So what? Hold on. I will show you the cover. I became obsessed with it for a little bit.
Here we go, everybody.
But it's sweet.
And that's I've like watched so much George Lucas stuff. Now I'm just like, how have I not
almost
heard of
nobody knows about this movie.
Like,
it's something
I've seen the Star Wars Christmas special. How have I not seen this?
Yep. Here you go. Here's the wiki. Hold on. Let me. Wait. How do I do this again? Let's share this tab instead.
Here we go, everybody. We're in for a treat.
Strange Magic.
You know what's weird is I almost feel like that cover looks familiar.
Yes. Oh, it's Jukebox Musical. That's what it's called.
I love how Thag says, I have the Star Wars holiday special. I had to look that up on the internet. The fact that you have it is incredible.
These two are, I don't know if it will let me. Yeah. These two are the two main characters of this is the princess and this is
Oh,
the
we're back
Bog
on
King.
on our screen.
Oh, is it on the screen right now? Why?
It was like, nobody needs to see that. So.
Hold on. This one.
Oh. See, this looks so new. What is
this? This is the princess and this is the Bog King is what he's called. But he's such a he's sexually sweet. He's like, he has a soft heart.
So that reminds me, there was a picture that I saw on Reddit today that was like this monster looking over a girl's shoulder, and they were like basically asking people on Reddit to like subtitle the picture. And so my recommendation for it was literally, "Don't look now, but there's a monster right next to you. Back away slowly before she turns around and eats you."
Oh my god. So this is this supposed to be Prince Charming.
But guess what?
And he's coded as like Elvis. Like he's very suave, whatever, but he's a complete asshole and just wants to be king and doesn't care about her because she's like the crown princess.
Because he is the king.
Yeah. It's so like fun and cute.
So wait. Oh, so Walt Disney. What year did this come out?
So the initial release was in 2015 January. It was in theaters for like a hot minute and then kind of just disappeared. I literally found it on Amazon, I think it was. Amazon Prime.
Guys, that was like when The Force Awakens came out. What? Why?
Yes.
Is that? What?
Yep. He literally...
That wasn't that long ago?
Yeah, he literally and then I was like, oh, this is a George Lucas film. Like after I watched it, when I was looking up like fan fiction and stuff, and then I went to the George Lucas website and realized, oh yeah, what the fuck? This is a George Lucas film.
Was that so? That was like right after Disney bought Lucasfilm.
Mm-hmm.
Like right after.
Yeah. So it's literally just a movie about a princess who is a little bit different and then gets her heart broken and decides that she's gonna be tough and like she doesn't need a man to help her rule the country. Like she's good, she's fine, wants to protect her sister, who is the classic princess, head in the clouds,
independent woman.
And the sister gets kidnapped by the Bog King because the two countries don't like, they're fighting. They don't like each other. They hate each other. They actually don't really understand each other, and that it's more of a like countries do not communicate situation.
Only we spoke the same language. It would make this so much easier.
Goes to save her sister, even though her dad tells her not to, and sends the stupid prince, or he's not even an actual prince, but the person she's supposed to marry sends him to go save the younger sibling princess. And she doesn't trust him or anyone else to save her sister. She's like, only I can do this. Goes and this has the part of the reason I love this has the trope where it's like, oh, we're sword fighting, and it quickly turns into like, oh, where I'm actually not really trying to kill you, and this is kind of hot, and now you're interesting, layered on top of music. So the music is playing, and it hits on the whole, like, as they're fighting, they're talking about their moves and each other, and all, like, I love the, like, fighting is just as sensual as dancing, because it kind of is dancing, so it can be sexy too.
Sure. All of us that have been in the Lord of the Rings fanfic area have known that for a long time.
I'm sure. But it has that, and what's hilarious is the stupid prince is in the same room at some point when they're doing this like a second time sort of, and they both turn to him and are like shut up. Because he's like, is this a lover's quarrel? And they're like, shut the fuck up, or something like that. Not exactly that, because it's still like, I think it's rated like PG-13 or something, the movie. It's very
sure
obvious.
You're supposed to be my girlfriend. What's happening?
It is. It goes a little weird at the end with like the end credit thing. Like he does the weird 60s, 70s like kaleidoscope. That's the only thing in the movie I hate. And it's because they're kissing at the end. And I'm just like, no, why do you, George Lucas, please stop being too weird. Like, could you just have given me a proper kiss scene and not given me a stupid kaleidoscope kiss scene so that you could keep your fucking rating? That's how I found AO3. It was because I was finding bits and pieces of things online and found out what their couple ship name thing was.
Can you just stop messing around and just do it already?
That is how I found AO3. So that was like later, like a few years ago.
The fact says that almost reminds me of Petronella in the end. After she disables the evil wizard, she realizes he's not really evil and decides to boot the prince she's been rescuing and stays with the wizard. That is absolutely my kind of story right there.
Hello, Deb. I don't know if you missed our whole conversation of me like...
Yeah, you come in right as we're like geeking out, like in the middle of... This is fine, don't worry. It's totally normal.
Yeah, but like nobody knows about this movie. I swear.
I don't understand. So actually,
he said
I absolutely understand. Disney is terrible about promoting movies that they don't actually care for within their own ranks.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's part of their way of actually kicking some of their own producers out, where they're like, all right, we're going to give you $150 million to make this movie, but once it flops, you're out. And oh, by the way, none of your budget is going to marketing.
Well, Jordan, so the one on Amazon has like extra stuff at the end where they're talking about producing the movie and stuff like that. And George Lucas talks about how, one, he made the movie because he wanted to really make something that was more feminine-ish, like where he's slightly targeting girls more versus like the Star Wars universe is technically targeted towards boys.
I mean, I disagree with that completely.
I do too, but like, marketing has to whatever. And he kind of seems like very generic about when he's talking about it, like he's using it because he has to use those terms. But he also just wanted to do a movie about fairies in a garden that was magical and fun and throw in favorite songs. And if you look at the ratings or the reviews, there are so many critics that are angry with the movie because it's a jukebox musical. And they're like, oh, the music is just there, or there are scenes for excuses for music. And I'm like, that's the point of a jukebox musical, is the random songs in the movie, and the movie has to complement the random songs. Like that's the point. You're a reviewer, you should know this.
I mean, I will say I have criticized movies for being what and the nostalgia critic was the one that coined this term, and I love it, the drive-by musical. But I mean, he meant it more for like movies that didn't really have a sense of direction. Like, have you ever heard of the Italian animated Titanic movie?
No.
Oh my god. So imagine a Disney fairy tale princess movie centered around the Titanic. and complete with talking, singing animals on a ship that we all know is just doomed to sink.
Yeah, that's doesn't sound smart.
And what's even better is there's a sequel.
That makes zero sense, but okay.
And I mean, it's all about, taking the I almost said dirigible, not the dirigible. What's the opposite of that goes underwater? the submarine thing to go explore the ruins of the Titanic, but the sharks aren't happy about it.
Oh God.
And there's a song that the sharks are going to sing about how not happy they are that you're down there looking at the Titanic.
Well, I think, like how you were saying about Disney, I think this was one of his last things that he worked on before selling to Disney. Because when Disney opened up, like I said, I found it on Amazon Prime for free.
Yeah.
When Disney Plus started, I looked it up because it's like, okay, you have all the George Lucas movies, or Lucasfilm movies. It wasn't on there. And then I looked again, for a random reason, and it was there. I was like, oh, okay. And it's like just the general thing. There's not like the extra stuff with like George Lucas and the other like animators and stuff talking at the end, like on Amazon Prime. And then I don't know how much longer later, I went back to look for it because I was going to watch it again. And it was gone. It's not on Disney Plus.
I just have to say, Thag the Troll, you made me lol so hard right now when I looked down and I just saw Two Titan, Titanic. but yes, what else? Like, Disney's absolutely guilty of doing that to a couple of really, really good movies. One of the movies that I was really sad that I didn't see until I was an adult was The Black Cauldron. That movie.
I watched that growing up.
I did not know it existed until I was an adult. And then I was like, oh my gosh, this is everything I ever wanted from an animated fantasy adventure. But Disney wasn't proud of it and they didn't push it. And as good as it was, it had everything from like the whole redemption arc to, everything about what makes a fantasy movie a good fantasy movie. And the other thing that I found out that they really tried to bury super hard was Treasure Planet. And really fascinating. Yeah, Treasure Planet is a great movie and it was a box office flop.
Treasure Planet.
And what's awful, absolutely terrible, is that the same production crew that made movies like Aladdin, The Lion King, they were the ones that made Treasure Planet. In fact, every time they made a movie, like when Aladdin came out, they did all this stuff and made Aladdin a great movie, and they went to the Disney higher ups and were like, listen, we've got this idea for a movie that we're seeing like Treasure Island but in space, and we really want to make this an animated movie. And Disney was like, make one more big hit animated movie and maybe we'll think about it. And then they made The Lion King, and Disney was like, make one more super big animated movie and maybe we'll think about it. And then I don't remember if the one after that was like The Hunchback of Notre Dame or one of the other ones. But it's like they kept hitting all the marks that Disney kept putting before them. Like, make a big hit animated movie and we'll talk about it. And then they were like, okay, fine, make your Treasure Planet movie. And then they did no marketing for it. There was like the budget that they put towards like actually putting that movie's previews in theaters was like $5 million compared to like the near like $50 million that they gave other movies. So nobody knew this movie even existed when it went to theaters. And then like the friggin' producers in Disney were just like, see, nobody cares about a movie like that. And they were like, it's sort of like the other movie that Disney did really bad too with that was friggin' John Carter. Did you ever see that one?
I did see that one. I don't remember too much of it, but I remember it because it's based off of something else, if I remember correctly, that I have seen.
A book series. Yeah, they took the book series of John Carter and then just were like, they did spent so much money. That was like a $200 million movie that they spent to make. And then they did no marketing. They're like, well, we thought that if people liked it, it would spread word of mouth. It's like, you do not rely on word of mouth for a $200 million movie.
Yeah. Disney is interesting. What it is I've noticed as I've gone. Yep, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Thag the Troll right there says, I work in TV and I barely saw promos for it on TV. It was like they wanted it to fail in order to like do the whole slap on the wrist for their production team, be like, just get back to work on the things we want you to work on.
Yeah. I feel like I've noticed as I've gotten older and as Disney has like swallowed up more companies, if it's a Disney movie, it is very much a kids movie or it's marketed to girls. Any boy stuff is very far and in between or tanks until they bought Marvel and Star Wars, and that's where they have all the boy stuff and Disney can stay with like princesses and cute things and stuff like that.
And I would totally, because I grew up on Disney.
Because like Jungle Book 2 is not something that people necessarily watch all the time. And then the remake did not do very well. Oh, and Hercules is really their only big boy thing that is super popular. So everything else has a princess or some version of a heroine that could be a princess. The Mouse Detective, like.
See, but even then they did girls wrong too, because so many of those movies, like it was so long, like you were talking about it's already slipping my mind. What? I think Fox did that to. Oh, Lucifer! Oh my gosh, yes, Lucifer was such a good premise. Oh my gosh, that was such a good premise of the show, having like Lucifer follow around like solving crimes and all that stuff. I was like, that was so cool.
Yep.
But I'm just like, like there's so many shows or movies that came out that's like, yeah, they had like the whole Disney princess lineup. But like one of the things that was awful even about the Disney princess lineup was how much there still needed to be like the prince and the man to come in and save her, because it wasn't until Frozen, which honestly I feel like came out right about the same time as the movie you were just talking about by George Lucas. What was it called again?
Strange Magic.
Strange Magic. Yeah, I feel like that was about that same time. Like we're talking 100 years of Disney movies. The finally was like, yeah, like what was the time difference between Frozen and Strange Magic?
It is 2013.
2-year difference.
Yep. And then 2016 was Moana, which kind of had a man, kind of not, because Maui's kind of like.
Yeah, Moana was at least a little bit more independent. Like, you know, she had a demigod that was at least on her side and stuff. But like so many of the other movies was just like, the very classic fairy tale of the heroine in distress. And, there's no way that she can solve this on her own and without the man coming to, save the day in the end.
Well, even Hercules does that too. Meg is like, oh yeah, I'm kick ass. Like, oh, whatever. Love, like, yeah, she falls in love, but she still keeps her like herself. But then Hercules has to go save her. Still.
Yeah.
Still.
So it's like, just like, no, this isn't what I mean.
Or even in Brother Bear, it's like I loved Brother Bear so much, and like they were like, oh, brothers and perfect, and then what? The next movie they have to have a love interest.
That wasn't the point of the movie.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's like all these, but you always end up with the big producers that think that they know what makes a good movie despite what the creative forces behind them, like the freaking Super Mario Brothers movie that are just like, hey, let's make a movie about dinosaurs because everyone really likes dinosaurs right now, so we're gonna make the Super Mario Brothers a movie about dinosaurs.
You know what? I don't even remember how we started on this conversation.
It doesn't matter.
I
I am throwing
minutes.
production companies. You know nothing, production companies. You know nothing. I'm calling you out. All of you people that think you are movie producing geniuses, you know not what
Wrong.
you do.
Well, kind of tying this back to writing, this goes with the point that not that I write middle grade or YA, but I follow people on other tube that write middle grade and YA, and Michelle Suserman, I'm 100% saying her name wrong, but she writes middle grade majority, and she's talked about it I think twice or three times now, where librarians, like not just public librarians, but specifically school librarians for sure, have been asking publishing, specifically TradPub, because that's where the kid lit is more popular, it's in TradPub, to please come out with more things that are shorter and simpler, or maybe more graphic novels, because that's what kids are asking for, and it's harder for kids to read or harder to have attention spans, but they want to read, but the books are still too big for a lot of them to continue to like keep focused. And a lot of people who are querying or trying to get into publishing, some have heard that, and even people that are already within the industry have been trying to supplement that and are trying to give that that to publishers to publish. And a lot of publishing houses are being like, no, even though the library, like the big library association, is also backing all the librarians that are asking for this, so that we're still encouraging kids to read. Like, sure, it's a shorter thing, but they're gonna read, they want to read, so let them read the short thing and then work their way up if it's going to take them longer to get to like a more traditionally sized middle grade book. Like,
well, I will say, like, when I was in school, we had a program called Accelerated Reader, where the idea was there was you would read a book and you had to take a comprehension test that, every classroom had the computers and what I hated was that the comprehension test was completely subjective. It was like the school librarians or teachers basically read the book and came up with a list of questions that they would put on there to test if you were paying attention to the book that you were reading. And then depending on the books you would read, they would assign you like your grade level of reading and all sorts of stuff like that. I always freaking hated that, because in order to have a higher grade level of reading, you basically had to read the most boring books. Like, I remember in the 6th grade, I was really trying to do well. And I was like, okay, if I really want to have a high reading level and get all these points, I have to read Little Women, which as a 6th grade boy was the most boring book in the world. I was like, I'm sorry, Beth, but there's only so many chapters I can read about you dying. Just die already so we can get on to what comes next.
I think I never finished that book, actually.
I failed that test. I spent like a month reading that book, and I was heartbroken as a kid when I failed that test, because even after forcing myself to read that book, all of the questions they asked were not the points that I paid attention to while reading.
Of course. Yeah.
Which is why I was like, yes, absolutely. Kids need books that they're going to actually find interesting. Like, as much as we can say, oh, but the classics, like A Tale of Two Cities, Of Mice and Men, dude, nobody cares about those anymore. I'm like, they're classic books, sure, but stop trying to make middle schoolers read them.
Yeah, for sure. Or like, because I went to a Catholic high school.
Hug him and squeeze him and call him George.
I went to a Catholic high school, and that was just like starting. It was still relatively new, and we had a new English teacher for our freshman class. And she actually did not have us, and she kept it as she ended up being like the head of the English department by the time I was a senior. Kept it as the curriculum for the school, where we did not read Romeo and Juliet as a freshman. So I have to this day never read Romeo and Juliet. We read The Merchant of Venice instead, because she was worried that the little bit of Romeo and Juliet that's a little bit sexual would be bad, that like the brothers wouldn't approve of it or anything like that. But I ended up liking it, because what ended up happening, especially as she ended up becoming like the director of English, is that we read a lot of books that were slightly unconventional, because she was trying to be like respective, even though later it didn't matter, and the brothers were like fine, you know, they didn't necessarily care. But it was nice to be like, oh, we read unconventional things compared to what my friends were reading in public school, which was very traditional and structured. And I was like, I enjoy reading something different.
About Romeo and Juliet, like, you don't need to read it to understand the premise of the story. Like,
oh yeah,
everybody has some grasp of what Romeo and Juliet is about in this day and age without having ever read the complete boring story. I mean, even if you just watched the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio that still came out like, what, 30 friggin' years ago now.
I never watched that either, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what the movie's about. It's had cartoons, it's had everything. It's like, we know Romeo and Juliet. We don't have to read the original book of it. But yeah.
What was it, last year? Wait, when did this video come out? 2 years ago? Well, either last year or 2 years ago. Until about then, I had actually never consumed, that I'm aware of or I can remember, never actually consumed anything that was Romeo and Juliet, because I was like, I don't care. I know what the story is. I hate the story. It's dumb.
Yeah, see, like, you didn't have to.
But
you knew the story.
Yeah. But I read Ramon and Juliet, the Love and Taco series from Alina.
What?
Yes, Alina. Oh shoot, I'm forgetting her last name. Albertson. Is it Albertson? Oh gosh, I can't remember her name. I have a video on the channel, on the main channel, with the series. I loved the book, but it was very much more inspired than a retelling, and I only read it because they're Latin characters, and I met the author. And I became very enamored by her. Versus last year, I read, what the hell was it? There's another one that's a Romeo and Juliet retelling. I can't remember what the author's name, and I can't remember what the book is.
Oh my gosh, you guys, this is a thing. Ramon y Julieta, Love and Tacos.
I love the book, and I love the second. Well, I wouldn't say I love the second book. I'm like in between love and like. It was still really good though. But this other author who also wrote a retelling of Romeo and Juliet, I read her book, and I read it in the Hispanic Heritage Month vlog from 2022. Couldn't finish it. Finished it this year. And I know that video hasn't come out yet, so I guess it's kind of like you guys get to find out before the video comes out. But I really did not enjoy it. It was much more of what I imagined. Again, never reading the actual play. Much more of a step-to-step, as close as you can get, of an actual retelling of the original play, but making it still romance. And I didn't enjoy it. It felt like a telenovela, which I hate. It was it was just too much and over the top.
You don't like telenovelas?
I don't. I don't like. I do not like Mexican novelas. I hate them so much. I also don't like American soap operas for very similar reasons, but slightly different. Now, give me a Korean drama, a J drama, hell yes. But
all right, so we just have to get caught up here, because Thag the Troll did say,
yes.
Thag the Troll said, I was a big avid reader as a child, and I never ever read Little Women. Thank you, Thank you so much. But I've always been a science fiction fantasy reader.
Yes.
And I absolutely agree. Something that's actually exciting and relevant is what we should prioritize. Like something that makes kids read. We need to stop shoving boring stuff into their face and be like, if they want to read something that's adventurous, something that transcends reality, give that to them. Stop forcing literature down their throat.
Or like the book that Michelle is on sub with is a kids or middle grade mystery novel that could be a graphic novel. She's open to either one. She kind of submitted it in a way that they could pick whichever they wanted, and it's stuff that that kids are asking for. And she said it in her most recent video where she talked about it, and she's like, she doesn't understand why publishers are continuing to be like, no, when kids are actually asking for that.
Like, I used to work in the college environment, and one of the things that I remember very much from our literary teachers were the amount of comments of, if it's not a literary fiction, it's not worth reading. And I was like, shut the F up and get out of here. Why are you teaching our youngsters? Stop it.
Yeah.
But yes, then Thad goes on to say, oh, wow, had a version called Romulo and Julianne, and it was a boss fight in Karazhan, an early raid dungeon. Oh, so yeah, like literally.
See, Romeo and Juliet just permeates everything.
Everything, even World of Warcraft.
Yes.
That is amazing. Oh, you read that one.
So there was a magnet school in Mississippi I heard about that required The Hobbit as reading in 7th grade. I rue the day I didn't go there. Yeah, see, that is fairer because it's still old, but it's more new than some of the classics they're trying to make other kids read.
But The Hobbit, and this is one of the things that I criticized the Lord of the Rings movies about, is I was like, every of the major Lord of the Rings books was condensed into one movie. And then they took The Hobbit, which was essentially...
That was just a cash grab, that's why.
Yeah, I was like, it was the middle school version of the Lord of the Rings, the entry point for kids to be interested in the Lord of the Rings. And they made that 3 movies on its own.
Yeah, so, I still have not watched The Hobbit.
I've seen, I don't think I finished it. I watched 2 of them and was just like, you guys are throwing so much extra stuff in here that I just don't care, because you're right. It was totally like just a cash grab to turn it into that. It did not need to be 3 movies. But this point right here, this is exactly what The Hobbit was made for. A young person's entry point into larger fiction.
Yeah. Yes.
Perfect.
Agreed. I actually tried to read The Hobbit as a 5th grader. I tried, and the only reason I didn't finish is because my sister was terrified of Gollum. And the copy that the library at my school had was the classic copy that had Gollum on the cover. And she was terrified every time I brought the book out, so I was forced to return it.
Sorry, Jimmy. Your sister doesn't like Gollum.
She's fine now.
I don't understand. Why would she not like Gollum? There's nothing wrong with Gollum. All he wants to do is kill the hobbits! I'm sorry, sometimes I lose control. All I want to do is make friends. Oh, will you be friends with Gollum? I promise. I won't kill you when you're not looking!
I'm sorry. When my nephew was younger, I was like, I have to give this little disclaimer. When my nephew was younger, it started off that his favorite movie was Lilo and Stitch.
And so I really kind of got used to doing the Stitch voice, that I would be like, hey, we're going to go out and we're going to be the cute little the koala that is so cute and fluffy.
And then when he got into Lord of the Rings, it was so easy to go from Stitch to,
oh, the Gollum,
and to then just going to, I'll kill everything! So it was, sorry.
I'm
blame-
used to you doing things
I-
like that. I'm sure
I blame my nephew on that.
you and Kage do that all the time, and I'm just used to that at this point. That's my life.
You have been putting up with that for far too long. You were still in high school when there was a friend. Well, it might not have been a friend of yours, but somebody that was in your class literally came up onto stage with me, and we sang the entire Pokemon theme. Like, when I say the entire theme, I mean both verses. Like,
I feel like I remember that, but I'm not exactly certain. Because I'm also like, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I know. Everybody was just like, what? What's happening? Everybody expects, like, okay, the theme's over. They're going to stop now. Nope. We kept going for the entire song.
Does Blunder know that we're live?
Is he behind me?
No, he's not. But I'm just curious because we've been talking for almost an hour now instead of doing any work. So I don't want him to think that we're just chilling instead of live.
You know what? Yes, because I didn't even have to tell him. Did you send me an invite or anything like that? Because I swear, all of a sudden, like we came back from walking the dog, and he was just like, "Are you doing a live stream with Dolores tonight?" And I was like, "Yes." He was like,
I
"Okay."
texted, sent you a Discord message, and that was about it.
I mean, you sent that to me. I was just trying to figure out what he saw.
Maybe he's just used to it at this point.
I mean, I know he subscribed to you, so I don't know if there's like some kind of a.
That may have been why. Because when I set it up, even though your picture's not in it, because I didn't want to, like, I wasn't sure if 100% if you were gonna show up, so I don't want to like make you feel bad. So, he may have just seen it pop up as like scheduled live and just assumed you're gonna show up.
That makes sense. Yeah, because he was just like, "Are you doing that? Why do you guys start so late?" I'm like, "Because that's how long it takes us to get back from walking the dog and doing the other things. If we got back sooner, we'd probably do something."
Yep. Yeah. And then, like, if I have
all
to
of us
stop
have
somewhere
lives
with my parents
during
or something.
the day. Yeah, I'm like, Dolores has to go do things and do family things. We have things. It's like 8:30 at night is when we're actually free to do things.
Yep. If I'm free, like free, and like my mom's on vacation from school or something, that's usually when I do lives at like 5 or 6. So it's still technically later in the day because I wake up much later and I have to wait for my husband to go to work. I don't have to, but I like to. So, like, yeah, it's never gonna be a midday like Des streams like in the on the East Coast in the middle literally of the afternoon. And I'm like, I'm never gonna stream in the middle of the afternoon. First of all, 9 times out of 10, if I'm actually off, that's close to when I'm getting up. So no, because it's my time to actually get to sleep in. And if not that, my husband doesn't leave until after 1:30 or 1, so to go to work because he works a mid shift. So yeah, no, I'm not, like, unless I'm doing something with other people, like when I do the Worldwide Write-a-thon, I'll stream earlier, if that's like where I can get a slot. But no, myself, my only decision.
I know, like, we've got that the whole, the phasmophobia thing that we're all going to be doing pretty soon, and I feel like that's even going to be kind of early, like 1 p.m. All right, this is, I mean, with enough time we can make something work. But I'm like, oh my gosh, so I've got like an idea for like the like a poster for us that I wanted to like definitely do it. Like, I'm not sure if you saw that in the in our Discord. That was like, I want to come up with like a poster that's like all 4 of us being all like Scooby-Doo creeping around like a creepy house with like ghosts around and just phasmophobia on there. Like, join us at this time on this day. Like, I think that'll look awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna actually text you later about that. I was like, do I need to give you like a profile picture? I'm like, I'm gonna have to take it, look to see if I have one.
I mean, it doesn't have to be a profile picture. I've actually had like the last the masquerade video that just ended up on our channel last week.
Mm-hmm.
I was shocked how well that looked just out of our video. Like I've been a very big proponent of that. We have to, like, I've been telling Blender, we need to actually take more like, what's the word, like, I don't want to say glamour shots, but it's basically glamour shots, like to actually get high
Yeah.
quality facial shots of like different
Mm-hmm.
expressions and things like that. We just haven't done it. Like we have like 5 selfies each that I use for like all of our thumbnails, and he was like, just use one of the like
The
get
stills.
a screenshot from us when we were like wearing the masks during that video. And I was like, it never looks good when I do that. But I used the Photoshop AI, and it was just like, I was like, never mind, that actually looks really good. Okay, great.
There you go. Yeah, no. Well, yeah, you have that because you do pictures of yourself in your thumbnails. I'm still using cute owls or some kind of animal. Canva has a lot of cute owls that I'm like, I will pick this owl.
Like, I know there's a lot of people that are not fans of AI, but for those of us that can't afford to go out and contract artists, I'm just like, oh my gosh, this actually gives me the possibility of having really like thumbnails and things that can compete. Sorry, excuse me, that can compete with other people.
But you're also not like using it to make a whole thing, like you're manipulating certain things. So it's not like you're trying to like make a whole art piece and then sell it like you did it yourself.
Oh my gosh, yeah, no, I absolutely push out. I'm like, there was a computer that made this. I wish I was this good to make art like this. I'm not. Like, I draw, I tinker. Like, there are times that I'm like, I have characters. I'm like, I absolutely would love to draw them. One, it takes me forever. Like, I'm working on a logo for one of my friends right now that's starting a new company. And I've been working on it for 3 weeks, and it still looks terrible. And I'm like this close to going, oh my God, you need to get somebody that's better at this. I'm terrible. It looks awful. And I'm like, okay, just keep trying. Just keep trying. It's okay. I'm like, and everybody tells me, well, just practice more. Just practice more. When do I have time to practice more? I was like, you go and do all the stuff that I have to do, and edit videos and make videos and do all this stuff and practice for 3,000 hours making character art.
Yep.
Like, and I've been trying to make music too. Like I've got like I want to get really good at that too. It's like I have so much fun with I have a little instrument that I've been tinkering with, but I'm still awful with it. Like, why am
I haven't played music since middle school. Yeah, middle school. I haven't played an instrument since middle school.
I'm like, this is why I cling to writing. I have practice in writing. I know how to write, and everything else that's creative, I'm just like, don't make me do it.
It's just, yeah, it's just hard.
It's everything's
and
hard.
Not in the good way.
No, like other things are hard, but they feel rewarding when you pull it off. Some things are hard, and no matter how much time and energy you put into it, you just feel like, I'm still bad at this.
Yeah. It's just interesting. But talking about writing as we continue to attempt to rearrange our thoughts, let's actually do a sprint like we're supposed to.
Oh my gosh, we're almost an hour in.
Yeah, that's why I said 30 minutes ago. I was like, I don't know how we started on this conversation. It's been 30 minutes. We just continue to spiral.
You know, I mean, that's half of what we do here. Probably more than that. What are you even working on today?
I am continuing to work on Project Aztec Love Death, and I just started a chapter during Dez's stream that's gonna lead into the party. So okay. It's like ha ha ha. I've just been talking for an hour. I mean, Des and them do it too sometimes.
It's fine.
so-
It's
and I don't always
fine.
have a guest. I don't always have a guest. When we don't have a guest, we're doing sprints constantly. Like, so
Sprint.
this is slightly just a different, relaxed, chill-ish. So, yeah, you go watch some of my old VODs for sprints, and it's like,
You're just like go get abs from all this sprinting.
oh god, if that only worked.
You're telling me. All right. I think I've
What
got
are you
I'm
gonna work on? Because you asked first.
Oh, so I have a couple of things that I got a new idea for the next creepypasta that I want to write for the for a video for our channel that I'm kind of like laying all the groundwork for. And then I also have a fantasy story that is sort of like I don't want to say that it's generic because you know that kind of leads to a certain like it's like a subversion of the generic, like, you know, the elements of the world are in chaos and they must all be so like I'll give this much, that the idea is that the world is going to be destroyed because the elements are in chaos. And there's the chosen ones that are supposed to gather to right everything and like make everything come back together and be all harmonized. And they're like at the point where they're all like, and with the final incantation, the world will be saved. And then a meteor hits them and they all die. And that's how the story starts.
Oh, the story starts. I thought you were gonna end it that way. I was like, okay.
Nope. That is the in the first couple hundred words right there.
That
And
sounds
so
fun.
the rest of the story is what happens after the chosen ones that are supposed to save the world are all smashed by a meteor.
That, in really no context except ending of the world, reminds me of a book I'm reading, but I can't say anything because it's part of the book club on the Ko-fi. So unless you're in the comments of the Ko-fi, I shouldn't say anything because people pay for the exclusiveness of my thoughts.
But
it made me think of that because I realized something when I started listening to the book today, because I started today, which I still need to film the intro of that video, and I need to make a comment on the page. But it made me think of something. I had a realization that hasn't been confirmed, but I had a realization. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, this author is a genius if this is really what's happening. And your comment made me think about that. And I was about to say something, and I'm like, I should not say something.
all right, well,
It's
I'll
not
poke your
fair.
brain. I'll poke your brain afterwards.
Yeah, I can tell you in private. Like, I should
All
have
right,
told the public.
I'm like, we've already been in miniature mode for like another freaking 5 minutes.
Usually we're better at this. Something it's
No,
Monday.
right?
Something about Monday.
It's been a Monday, yeah.
Dez's stream was kind of like this too. They were very distracted.
I believe it.
Okay, let's. I need to
All
get
right.
on the right tab.
Here we go.
We're gonna have cute animals. 20 minutes.
Animal.
Because we're not gonna do 15 because we've already been talking for an hour.
Thank you, Thag. I appreciate so much. This is fine. This is all fine.
Yes. All right, 20 minutes. Starting off
20
with
minutes.
a cute Rory. One,
And I'll be right back.
2, 3. all done.
Good timing, I guess.
Remember to save your work, everybody.
Save, yes, save, saved. I'm not used to that. I was using Google for so long. Now that I'm not on Google anymore, I'm just like, that's right, I have to save what I'm doing.
Well, Word also now auto saves, or at least I have auto save on, but I still like to every so often Control S. Just because it makes me feel better.
Makes me feel better as well, because I have totally done that and like written for like 2 or 3 hours only to have something crash. And
I got so used to the autosave and even not saving as often as I used to in Word that I was doing something at work. And my boss even told me, she was like, make sure you save periodically so that we don't lose anything. I got through 3 pages on my Excel sheet because I was doing something for the schedule for her. And I did not save. And I accidentally exited out of the document. And I was like,
no.
When did I save last? And I reopened it. And the Excel sheet was like a week back. I was like, no, I had just finished a week's worth of stuff and I was ready to print. No.
All right. Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Yep. I've gotten back to saving now, especially at work when I do stuff for the schedule.
Oh my goodness. So we have
Dez has sent you fun things.
Yeah. So guess what, Dolores?
What?
There's only one person missing from our selfies.
Oh yeah, I know.
I
can send you something later. I even have your phone. I can just text you.
You can, but you haven't.
No, because I was reading fanfiction most of the day. We talked about this. You know what I did today?
I mean, I'm not saying I blame you. I'm just saying that now that I have this from Des and Laura, oh my gosh, Laura, I can't begin to say how much I love your face. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be amazing.
I'm usually the person that's on top of everything and poking everybody.
You are.
I'm like, no, I read fan fiction. I did the one important thing, which was send my AuthorTube Secret Santa to Shannon. And then I read fan fiction and I picked up my mom on time, checked on my parents, and read more fan fiction.
Your mom appreciates that so much. Your mom is, you know what? She owes you big time for that. But
I need to send you a picture.
But I mean, if you saw this picture that I'm looking at right now.
Well, I was just gonna send you my normal screen headshot that I have.
No.
Should I not?
You should see what
maybe you can show
Laura
me after we get off.
I mean, the picture Laura sent me is epic, and now it's up to you to keep up.
What about Des? Does Des have to send you a new picture now?
No, Dez's is pretty good. I will say, Des, your picture is pretty good, but Laura, oh my gosh.
Okay. I need your eyes on the scene. I'm ready. Oh my god. Oh, yeah. Send it to me, please. I'll read it tonight after I get up. I'll read it in bed. Please send it to me, please. Please, yes, Laura. I'll read it. Yes, send it to me. Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I got too excited. It was.
I mean, yes, but Laura has also given permission to show it. Do I have a way to show it? Like, is there something that I have here? How do? Oh, I have present. Do you want me to do it? Do you want me to do it?
That's fine.
Should
That's
I do
fine.
it? All right, here we go. Let's see. If I share screen,
Oh, yeah.
I want to share screen. Oh my God!
I saw that in the Instagram comments, and I was like, I'm gonna see what everyone else does. I also had that thought too.
All right, here we go.
Oh, yes, I'll read it later.
All right, I've shared.
Shared. Where is? Oh, it's down here.
That is going to be, you don't understand. I'm totally going to put that on like a picture of us looking like a Scooby-Doo team walking through a haunted house. And I'm like, and so now all of us need to kind of like look like that.
All terrified. I could probably do that.
Yep.
Too bad my screen is so small when I first played Phasmophobia, because maybe I could have just taken a screenshot from when you fucking scared me. Because I screamed. Actually, you know what? Maybe I should go rewatch the bot and see if I can cheat and just take a screenshot from.
That was such a good day. It was just like, Dolores, go open that door. Dolores, open that door. Just
not even
open
that
door
one.
and see.
The next time you scared me with the freaking teddy bear, because it was more of like I wasn't paying attention and didn't expect anything to happen and was listening to Kage and following directions like a good person, and then you suddenly just throw a teddy bear at me because you died.
I do that. I was like, that's so I will say, like,
oh yeah, if you want to see chaos the first time we played, I have a bot on this channel. You can watch us play Phasmophobia a few years ago, a couple of years ago, something like that.
I loved it. That was so much fun. And I will say, like, I play games a little bit differently than some people. Like, I remember when Among Us was a big thing. Like, I made a deal with people. I wouldn't even say I made a deal. It was just they had to like accept this if I was playing with them. I was like, listen, you guys, if I get voted out and I am not the imposter, I am not doing any tasks. So do not vote me out unless you are absolutely sure I am the imposter, because I will be very bitter. If you kick me off this ship and I was not the imposter, I'm going to sit here and pout and do nothing else for the rest of this game.
Fair. Like legit fair.
And then so when I die in Phasmophobia, I'm just like, is there a way that as a ghost that I can trip this trap and like start throwing off everybody else's investigation?
Thanks, yeah, no. What was hard is I still didn't know what all. I mean, I'm gonna have to relearn, but I didn't really know what all the buttons did. I didn't know a lot of things, and Kage was losing patience with my newness.
So here's the thing, because I will say this. Kage, I love Kage. If Kage watches this at any time in the future, Kage, I love you. Kage, I love you, man. You are like my best friend out there. You are the older brother to my business partner and partner in life and everything else. But Kage plays to win. And nothing else really matters as much as winning. And that is not how I play games. When I play a game, I'm like, how can I break this game? Which infuriates him. He's just like, why are you not playing by the rules of the game? I'm like, because the rules won't break it. I want to see how far I can like break everything that's happening in here. and I have fun doing what I do.
Yep.
And sometimes I have too much fun watching Kage just squirm under the pressure of the game breaking around us.
Yeah, that definitely happens. That definitely. Okay, I'm gonna do a thing real quick because why not?
A thing.
Yes.
Everybody,
make sure.
everybody. She's doing a thing. Get ready.
That's
Get
what
ready.
I'm
Here
saying.
it comes.
Okay.
Here it comes. Get ready for a thing. A thing is happening.
Oh, I gotta add it to the stage because I had your thing instead. So this is
Oh,
just
you
the
found
snippet.
it.
This is
You
just
found
the
it.
snippet. This
Yeah,
is
I
not
already
the-
see what the. Sorry, I'm too close to the mic. I'm way too close to the mic. Sorry. I was just like, I know this is my friend being a jerk. I'm like, oh, I know what this is.
Okay.
We're like, "Wah!" Oh,
And
There
then
you
look
go.
out that door.
okay. Wait, do I open it? Or
Yeah.
it won't open.
It won't open. Open. There it goes.
Meh.
You can do it. There it is. It's open.
Oh my
You didn't
god!
even see the
You did that on
face.
purpose.
Nope.
There was totally a face that
I
was like on the other side of the door.
I mean, isn't one
bet
close
you it's
enough?
No, it has to be under 0 degrees Celsius to be counted as freezing.
Oh,
As real
Kage,
evidence?
so
We can't pretend
technical.
evidence.
I mean, we can make a guess.
I like pretend
We
evidence.
really,
I
really
feel
want
like
to.
it was
We'll-
close enough.
I agree.
I mean, it's
you know
up to
what,
you.
we'll
Yeah, oh
be
my god!
pretty
Memo!
I mean, you'll.
I remember that. I was just like, ha, hiya, hiya.
And that was because it was the Halloween special, so there was like extra spooky things because we played it on Halloween. But-
Yeah, all the Halloween decor was up. The
Where are we
haunted
at?
houses were even more spooky than normal. Oh my gosh, you guys, and now it's not just you, but both Des and Laura are gonna have to play with me. And if I die, you guys are just gonna have to deal with me.
We're just
screwing
gonna
around
we're
with
gonna just
everything.
leave. We're gonna be like, okay, restart.
I feel like there's no chance. If Bungle dies, he's gonna be just like picking everything up. Like if there was a way that I could just pick up the Ouija board and run across the house with it,
You're gonna figure out how to do it anyways.
I would do that. I would absolutely, in a heartbeat, like as a dead person, have the Ouija board, the monkey paw, and just be like, make a horrible wish. Please make a horrible wish.
Let's see, I've seen people play, but I've never played. I have no clue buttons and what. Yeah. Oh, also keep your temperature in Celsius. Do not change it to Fahrenheit because I was so confused, which was part of the conversation with Kage at one point because I couldn't figure out what freezing was, and it's easy to figure it out in
I
Celsius.
think everybody should just use the metric system at this point. Like, why are we Fahrenheit?
I mean, that's fair.
Everything. It makes no sense.
I do a lot of metric system at work, so not that I'm still get confused, but
Oh my gosh,
remember
you
poor
guys.
Kage was done when you went. Oh yeah, to beat the Ender Dragon. Yeah.
Oh no.
No, we need more fear.
More fear.
One time we were in a van and the EVP went off. I did the same thing.
Salted the truck. Yep, that was
We
me.
all running away the
That,
way.
that was me dancing around in the truck going, am I EMF level 5? Come on, I think I should be EMF level 5, guys. Come on, scan me.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
Oh my gosh, 100 of was literally pulled out of a horse because how do you think they took a horse's body temp in the
Yep.
18th century? You know what? I agree. It's just whatever this is, whatever is the inside of a horse's, that's what we're gonna call 100.
What was the reason why Bungle got away with throwing the bear at me is I had a general concept of knowing that there's a way to talk in the game technically and didn't fully understand because we were talking on Discord. And that's how we were playing the game. But you need to talk to the ghost and stuff in game, and there's like a button you press for that. So they just muted the Discord and was just effing around. So Bungle was just silent the whole time.
This sounds accurate.
And also, when you die, you can't talk anyways in the game.
This is also accurate, but at the same time, I think when I died, that was one of the things I did is I went back into the van, found out what the ghost's name was, and was literally running through the house screaming the ghost's name in order to try and get it to do a haunt.
Really? I mean,
I was like, "Are you mad yet, Rutherford Grisby?"
Because I think I died first, the first house, and then the second house we died like quickly next to each other. And then the last one, which was that one, you died only.
Just me.
Yeah.
That's the best.
Yes, Des.
Like I said, I play games differently than most people. Like other people are like, "All right, guys, let's work together and win." And I'm just like, how can I bring about? Yes, how can I cause more chaos?
At least it's also gonna be much more daytime, and it won't be at like what I think we were playing at like 10 or something, because that's when I did my like 12-hour stream, because I did Halloween gamey stuff, and then I ended with Nano. So
it was a long stream.
Yeah, because I talked you guys into streaming. And you guys only streamed for like,
oh my gosh, this is my new title.
Something.
Thag, thank you. Chaotic neutral goblin. I am fine with this.
At 10:11 p.m. Also, I mean, well, Laura's played for some, so maybe you have money. I have barely any money. Does this new, so she's not going to have any money. I don't know if Bungle has any money in the game, so we're not going to have a lot of equipment. Versus Kage had all
true.
the equipment,
yeah,
and that's why we had a better run.
Yeah, Kage was the one that was like level 327 and had like 12 sets of everything.
Yeah.
And that was kind of, and so I'll be different with you guys because that was kind of like, I made it my goal to just waste all of Kage's belongings.
I'm not surprised.
I'm pretty sure that
Wait,
I've maybe played twice since they introduced levels. And so I have like, if I'm anywhere above level 0, it's 2 is the max that I am.
I have no idea what the hell because I haven't played since we played. I actually undownloaded the game to be able to load up. I forget what I was loading up, but I needed space. So I just recently re-downloaded it onto my laptop to make sure I had space for it. So yeah, no, I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, we'll have fun. You know.
We'll have fun. It'll be chaotic.
Maybe that's going to be sort of like the thing that we're actually going to have to like figure out a way to set aside our differences and actually try and figure a ghost out.
Yeah.
That's going to be a whole thing in itself.
I
Be
know
like,
there's a
"Alright."
lot more spaces to go to. Like there's like some scary campground. I saw someone playing during a Halloween special of something.
I just can't wait to go, all right, gang, let's split up.
I mean, our first couple games are probably going to be in small houses because we're not very leveled up. So.
I did play with Fuzz a couple of months ago, and we literally duoed it, just the two of us, through a couple things. And yes, I do remember. So, oh my gosh, the campground one that you're talking about is so dark on my monitor that I spent the entire time just lost walking into, like, there's just like a wall of trees that I was like, and I had no idea that I was just up against the wall. Just like, how far does this hall go?
I believe he did it on purpose.
You're against a tree. And I was like, I knew that.
I would totally think you were doing it on purpose. Also, yeah, I agree. No asylum. The school, I'm half and half. The asylum, no. Oh, Laura's gonna check her stats. Warning, I have no sense of direction and can get lost in a simple... You know what? Me too.
I do good as long as I have a map. If there's no map, I got no idea. I was like, until I've played a level enough times to be able to be like, oh, okay, I know this landmark, which, you know, when you're in a school, you're like, lockers, 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 lockers. I am lost.
Yeah.
It's like I'm also like opening up my Steam right now to pull up Phasmophobia and see like, what level am I again? How much money do I have? I'm pretty sure I don't have any money because I have literally relied on either Kage or Fuzz every time I have ever played that game. We are going to be so...
How high is Fuzz?
Fuzz is pretty high up there too. Fuzz is super, super good at games. Like when I play with Fuzz, that is when I'm actually serious, just because like Fuzz, I want to try and keep up with. Kage, I just want to screw with. But Fuzz, I'm like, no, I'm going to try and do good by you. Like there's a video of me, Fuzz, and Bungle. I'm Bungle.
You did a blunder. Both definitions. Are you guys in the back backstage just chilling?
Darn it! I've been so good. I haven't done that. Oh my gosh! But no, I was going to say the blunder.
Recently on stream.
I can't deny it anymore that I did. And you know what? Let me finish my drink. Hold on. Or at least now I have an excuse. All right, so yes, blunder, Fuzz.
That was like your third drink? You're good. Dinner. Uh-huh.
I have no idea what you're talking about. But what game was that we were playing? It was the game with the goats and the crazy.
I know what you're talking about.
Lady that was all like, "No, don't kill my goats, or I will kill you."
I remember that. I don't remember what it was called though.
Devour.
Yes,
it was Devour. So Blunder and Fuzz and I were playing Devour. And there was like this one part. I just
they have also played that. You should go watch that.
Goat Simulator.
I don't know if you have any of the VODs up, but
no, we did play on the Blunder and Bungle channel. There is a couple of videos of Blunder and I playing Goat Simulator, and
Blunder
that is
is
exactly
the goat queen goddess.
that is one
Supreme.
of Blunder's official titles is Queen of Goats
Yes.
because of that game.
I just elevated him to goddess, so you can tell him.
Goddess, you know what? I'm sure that's fine. But it was just hilarious because I remember Fuzz for a while was helping me edit a couple videos before they moved to just away, and there was a point where Fuzz was legitimately working on that video that they were in with us, and had there was like this one part where the creepy lady was like, Fuzz had the goat and was like running out to sacrifice the goat to the fire, and then the crazy possessed lady was like running towards Fuzz because Fuzz had the goat, and I literally just like jumped in the way and was like, no. and so Fuzz made it and killed the goat, but during editing was like, oh my gosh, did you sacrifice yourself for me? And I was like, of course I did.
Had to win the game.
It's like we were a team. Like Fuzz is the only person that I'm like that with so far, that I've just been like, together we will be victorious.
I mean, that was funny. That one was funny, especially when you guys all at one point, I think Fuzz, at one point there was a time where Fuzz was the only one still alive, and you were all shouting for him to come revive you.
Save me, Fuzz. No, save me, Fuzz. Fuzz, 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 Fuzz.
Yeah. And then I think someone was stuck in like the attic, and he was like, where the fuck are you?
I know, I felt so bad for poor Fuzz.
But yes, Des, we've got it off Steam. But wherever you can't get it, that's up to you. But I got it off Steam.
Ooh, okay. So let me see. I actually just got the game up myself. Where do I tell where's my stats? Hi. Okay. We have officially entered quieter time.
Oh, they're gonna go to sleep.
Yep.
No laughing out loud anymore.
Okay. Only laughing like this. Don't worry, guys. It's fine. Ooh. So, yeah, my stats are like awful. Where do I have photos of me dead? No, I don't even have photos of me dead. What is up with this?
Lame.
Right?
Because you play more, so yeah.
I don't even know how to check my stats. Where is the stats now?
Who knows? Not me.
Right? I'm like, I don't know anything about this game. It is so bad.
I'm also, Nia, I'm glad you're enjoying the banter, because that's pretty much the majority of the stream unintentionally.
Right? We've done one sprint so far. It's like, I feel like we're gonna have to... Sorry, I just like I went upstairs in Phasmophobia to I'm not in anything but like the waiting room, and it freaked me out that my character was like out of breath just going up the stairs. I was like, what's going on? Like, that's how low level I am. I can't even run up the stairs without being like
I don't think that's how that works.
Yeah, I have no idea what level I am.
We'll
So
just be surprised.
we'll just be surprised when we actually see it next time. And oh my gosh, how do I quit? Quit game. Quit game. Why does
Ooh.
escape not?
Laura has 786 in the game.
You've got
Oh, it reset you back to
money.
level 1 though. That's sad.
You have money.
You have enough money for us to have real flashlights. That's all I care
Like
about. Is the real
actual
flashlights.
flashlights. Ooh, we're gonna
I mean, I know we
gonna-
need equipment, but I'm like, I like the real flashlight.
Here's the thing I want. I want flashlights and I want walkie-talkies so that basically I can just be like,
Of course. Oh.
And everybody be like, get off the radio. And be like, okay, fine.
You can just. Well, we have to decide if we're gonna do like a Discord group call or something. If we're gonna do that, we have to decide on that still.
I mean, we'll figure it out. I know on my
Yeah.
end, I've actually got it set up now that I can do it inside the game, and it works even on.
Oh, is there a
on-
game option to do that now?
Yeah, because it's got proximity chat built into the game.
I don't think that's how it was when I played.
It might. So they've been doing like there's been so many updates. Like even like what I was just saying, like that video that you were showing where we did our whole like scared you or like open the door, open the door. Like that area doesn't even exist anymore.
Really?
Like
Yeah.
there's an entirely new little waiting room and stuff now. It is so different. It's been updated so many times that there's like twice as many types of ghosts now as there used to be.
Wow. I
is
haven't
like-
watched anyone play it recently either, so
It is barely the game that it was back in the day that we did
maybe I
that.
should watch some VODs.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. No, let's
No
just go into
research?
it blind. It's fine. No research.
I already
Blind
went in
playthrough.
blind and you guys tortured me.
Yes, and wasn't that great?
I guess I got content out of it.
That's exactly what we should do again, guys. Don't you agree? Don't you agree? We should just go into it completely blind so Dolores has no idea what the new things are.
Me
Come on,
and Des.
guys, back-
Well, I don't know. Des has watched recent
Back me up
VODs.
here. Back me up here, guys. Just be like, yes, blind play, blind play.
But apparently almost 24 hours Laura has played in totality.
Almost a full day.
But
that
hasn't
equals
opened it since
$780. That will get us flashlights, walkie-talkies. Maybe a UV flashlight?
UV flashlight. We just need one.
Just one. And dots.
feel-
Now they have dots.
They had dots when I played.
Yeah, but now dots work totally different. Like
really?
it's like before it was like you put this little dots projector down in the middle of the room, and now you
Mhm.
carry around like a totally separate like dots flashlight thing,
Like on Ghost Hunters.
something like
Zach
that. Yeah.
carries that thingy around.
At least on the early stuff, I think that you have like a dots flashlight, which like puts you in more danger. That you can't just like watch for something to cross the dots.
Because when I was playing, when you scared me with the bear, that's what I was doing. I was watching the projector because for a moment, for some reason, me and Kage were off like whatever, because when it was on for him, I could not see it. But when it was on for me, he couldn't see it. And he kept thinking that I just was pressing the button wrong. And I was like, no, but this and this. And then finally we figured it out. And it just happened to be that our screens were not merging or however the game worked. So we were just like on opposites. That's why he went back in the house, because he's like, only one of us needs to stay here. And it's obviously we can't do it together.
And if one of us is going to go into the house and die, it's going to be Kage.
Which he never died, though. He didn't die at all.
Somehow. That's what happens when you play to win. I'm like, stop it.
When Dad watched that, he even told me, he was like, you guys were just irritating him. Because you guys were just dying and being silly. I was like, that wasn't my intention. I was scared.
So there was a I don't think we ever actually made a video out of it, but there was a time when Kage and Spoonie and I played Raft.
Ooh, I would have loved to see that.
And we didn't make a video out of it because we never actually got anywhere with the three of us.
Don't see that.
We played like 5 games, and in all 5 games, within like 20 minutes, the shark had us down to like 1 raft panel left.
That sounds about right.
And so we were just like, well,
That sounds like
Talking-
probably as productive as we would have been if we had actually gotten to play Forest, like we had tried to plan.
I still want to play the forest.
I
But it
do
was
kind of
just so-
too, even though it's scary. But I kind of want to also. But I feel like we will argue so much, or Kage will just be like, forget everything and go build his own thing somewhere else.
I know Kage will like have built a shopping mall by the time we figure out how to chop down a tree.
Yeah.
But I felt like that was one of the great things, is that because
Or we're
with me
stuck
and
below
Spoonie
ground.
playing together, because like I love Spoonie, but Spoonie will just like totally, like if I say, all right, we need somebody to do this, and I'm just BSing my way through things, Spoonie will just like go right along with it and be like, okay, and take it completely seriously and go start doing the thing that's not actually getting us anywhere because I said to.
Yes, Spoonie. I feel like Spoonie's mind works very similar to Dad's, where they're very technically exact. And if it has any basis in reality, like science or anything, they will do how it's supposed to function. I mean, just looking at all of Spoonie's Minecraft stuff in all the past Minecrafts.
My heart. Oh, my heart. Oh, Vixen of Fiction. Thank you for hanging out. Totally.
Yes, thank you.
Bedtime.
sleepy
Have a
time.
good night. I was going to say we should probably get another sprint.
Yeah, I have one set up. It's just we were talking.
I know, and it's so much fun that we just never get around to actually getting writing done, which is like
The last stream last week on Friday, we were productive.
we
I
got
don't
a
know
lot of writing
What's
done.
in today's water across the world or the country, because
It's been a Monday, you guys. You just don't understand.
I think that's
I'm
what
done
JC
with
said
work,
too, something like that.
and I'm just like, no. There's like no work left in my bones.
I apparently just did not want to work because I just read Good Omens porn pretty much. So with story. Okay. 1, 2, 3, go.
Go.
all done. Ah.
It goes through faster and faster every time.
Well, it's only been 2 20-minute sprints, so versus my normal like slowly build up and then come back down.
I'm not even sure I have another sprint in me. I'm gonna start dozing before I do. And like I was trying to pass it off like I am totally concentrating on what I'm writing.
Oh, I 100% thought you had dozed off for a second and then you moved. I was like, oh, okay.
I was like,
Still
you
alive?
noticed nothing. I am not dozing. There is no way I am possibly dozing.
Oh, well, we've almost been live for 2.5. So. This is roughly the amount of time that I usually stream. At the most 3. It's usually when I'm pushing, so.
I mean, so far I'm pretty happy with what I've been able to do for the most
That's
part.
good at least.
I mean, if I really stop to think about that, I've really only put 40 minutes of anything into what I'm doing today. It's fine.
I finished a scene.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't finish the chapter. I finished a scene because I'm gonna have 2 scenes in this chapter, but because I really want to do the at least part of the party or start the party in Muho's point of view. Maybe I'll switch to Marigolds later, but I mostly just want to be in his head when he sees her in her dress. So that is the reason I want to stay in his point of view. So.
Spicy.
Yes. Just like, the tiny bits, because I still have not decided if we're going to kiss yet. Just we probably will. Me, myself, and I are slightly desperate for something. And I'm writing it. I watched too much erotica at the end of last year.
Write it and they will come. Get it.
But I am at 10,000 words, 10,421 words right now. So that is good. Especially because I want to finish this by summer. Not our summer, like traditional summer. By June.
I was like, is there a difference?
Well, yeah, because our summer starts in like April, end of April.
Like, yeah, we have I guess a 7-month-long summer. Is that how it is?
Yeah. Yes, go to the 10K. Oh yeah, I remember because I got married in April. I remember being extremely anxious that my husband's family was going to like pass out or something because that weekend was going to be hot. And I was like last minute that week before everyone came was like messaging everybody and was like, it's going to be 85 or something like that, like high 80s, please dress appropriately for the wedding. It's going to be kind of chilly in the evening, but it's going to be hot. And I was just so afraid because it had snowed, I think at like the end of March or something. His great aunt had told us, and all I could think of was that they were gonna come with too much cold weather stuff and overheat at the wedding.
You guys don't understand. Do not come prepared for snow. It is not going to snow. The last thing it's going to do is snow here. You are all going to melt.
Yeah. Ah, interesting. I didn't know that.
Oh my gosh. So I will say I've only ever been to Florida once. I remember there was one time that when I was working for the college that my boss was supposed to go to this big, huge conference in Florida. And literally like 2 weeks before the conference, he backed out of it and said, "You know what? Nah, never mind. I don't want to go after all. Send somebody else." And he was like, "Tony, do you want to go?" And I was like,
Sure.
"Oh, okay, yeah, sure, I'll go." And so I didn't really think much of what it was going to mean to be going to Florida in June until the airplane was landing. And I will never forget the day, because here in the desert, like I always thought that the heat index was just sort of like a BS thing, that it's all
Yeah.
like, today
It's just
the
a thing that
temperature,
people say.
it's 107 degrees with a heat index of 108. And it's like, well, what's the point? It's like 1 degree more. It's 100, like it's 107, but it feels like 108. Oh, whoop-de friggin' do. I
Melt a
landed
little bit faster.
in Florida in the middle of June, and I will never forget the captain of the airplane when we were landing in Orlando, who's all like, "Oh, we're landing in Orlando. Weather today is 87 degrees Fahrenheit with a heat index of 123. What? What? What do you mean? 120? What?
That don't make sense.
I was like, that sounds like a lie. That is not how that
Proof
works.
the appendix is a more of a lie than it already is.
Like 87 with a heat index of 123. Sir, stop it. Like no, heat indexes are just 1 or 2 degrees difference, and there's no purpose. And then I got out and I was like, have you spent much time in Mexico?
No.
So I will say, when I was a kid, I remember the first time I ever visited my family in Puerto Vallarta. The plane landed, and unlike American airports where they have like this tube that connects to the airplane and you go straight into the airport, like in Mexico, they just had a ramp that they just and you just
like old school.
Yeah, you just came out of the airplane and went right down onto the tarmac. I swear, as a little kid, it's like the door opened, I walked out into the air and was just like, it was like I just swam away. The humidity was just like, this isn't like the humidity level of a place that is raining, because it can't rain when you're underwater. What I can't breathe. I need to get someplace higher where there's air.
Yeah.
No, it's not a joke, Thag. I am dead serious. Like in Mexico, because we're like way even further south than Florida, it was just like
Closer to the equator.
I could not breathe. I was just like, I was literally, as a little kid, like I was probably like 7 years old, having a panic attack. Just like, I was like grabbing onto my mom's.
I probably would have
clothes,
died
just
then.
going, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. There's no air here. I'm underwater.
Yeah, my asthma probably would have kicked in. I would have died. Yeah, it's like the wind chill factor. Dad said he didn't understand what a real wind chill factor was until they went to Oklahoma for a competition.
You just got raided.
Oh, hello.
Hello, everybody.
I had the YouTube tab.
Barbara King.
Welcome. We're gonna close out soon, but thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for coming. We've literally been streaming now for 2.5 hours, and we've done 2 writing sprints. It's been amazing. We've gotten so much work done, and by so much work done, I mean like almost nothing.
It's like just a day. It's just one of those days.
It's a Monday, and we have spent so much time talking about everything but writing.
Yeah. No, we talked about writing. We just haven't done the writing.
Okay, fair.
Mm-hmm. I
But
have
there
chronic
have
bronchitis, and I'm opposite. I get sick in dry air. Yes.
Oh, Thag. I am my poor. I have a cousin, Augie Lobo, that is sometimes tunes into my streams as that same way. And we live in Arizona, and poor Augie gets bronchitis like twice a year, guaranteed. And I'm like, why do you live here? This is awful for you.
Though, ironically, they say that it's actually better for asthmatics to live in Arizona because it's so much dry. Because most of the time,
Used to be. It used to be better
That's
for
true.
asthmatics to live in Arizona than other places because there was nothing that people were allergic to here. And then what did they do? Everybody brought everything they were
That's
freaking
true.
allergic
That's also
to
true.
over
That's
here,
true. That's true.
planted
All the
it all over
alien
the
plants.
place. Now we have all these parasites growing all over the place, and
Yeah.
everybody's like, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Well, then where's
Technically,
your-
that's still illegal in the state. You're not supposed to bring in foreign plants into the state unless it's like sanctioned by like a store or something. But so many people bring in other plants from like their homes and moving, and that's why our ecosystem is fucked up.
Yeah, I am moving to Arizona to get away from all these plants that are bad for me, but let me just take them with me because they're pretty.
Yeah. Because I actually have a reverse problem, which is more rare with the humidity, where it being humid triggers me and I can't breathe because I'm just breathing in the water. When I went in October to the East Coast because my husband's cousin was getting married, we went there and it was like a really quick trip. It was like in between my school sessions. We were going very quick. We were going to be there for like 3 days, I think. And then I was going to have one more day of, no, I was going to have 2 more days of rest. And then my semester, short little quick semester was going to start again. So we went and we thought it'd be fine, but it was still kind of humid at the beginning of the fall. I came back home with pneumonia. And my doctor was like, yeah, your lungs are so used to being dry that the added humidity just drowned you. So when we went a couple years later to visit his mom, we were trying to avoid the summer, but we just couldn't figure it out. We went to, at the time she was living in St. Louis, we went to St. Louis in the summer, got tremendously lucky that the week we went happened to be a drier week for most of our trip until the end. My dumb butt forgot my inhaler because I like switched purses to have like a more airplane safe or like airplane
so I can get past the security, the TH.
Yes, something
What do they call
easier
it?
for them to have to go through and stuff.
Almost called
So
the
I just-
airport security the THC. I feel like that is not right.
So in moving to a different purse that was easier to fly with, I forgot to put my inhaler in there. And I realized when we got to her house, and it was okay because like the first few days was like slightly uncomfortable, was fine. The like second to last day was still technically not like the humidity that they'd been having the week before or the weeks before, but it was much heavier. And I felt so bad because we had went out and we went on a boat ride, which was fun, and we were going to go to the arch, and we were going up a flight of stairs, and I literally had to stop, and I grabbed my husband and I was like, I need to sit down, like I can't breathe. And I feel bad because his mom was like panicking, and it took it literally took me 30 minutes to go up this flight of stairs because I kept having to stop.
I'm going to die.
Yeah, and her boyfriend at the time was like, "What do we need to do? Do you want to go home?" I was like, "I just need to rest." And at the time, my husband knew that like the AC would in a if we were to go sit somewhere in AC, it's drier. So we did not go to the Arch. Instead, on his phone, he found a restaurant that wasn't too far from us, and he's like, "Okay, it's." I don't remember how far it was because it did take us longer to get there, anyways. He was like, "Can you make it there so that we can sit and eat and you can take a breath?" And
that's like one of those times that you're just like in your head, you're not focused on what you're doing. You're just like keep saying over and over, "Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming."
Yeah. What I kind of and I like. I'm sure she was also tired, but his grandmother. We had paid for his grandmother to also come out, so I met his mom and grandmother at the same time. But it was also like the first time in a few years they were seeing each other too. And she was like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm tired too." Like after we had lunch, she was like, "Let's just go home." And I felt like his grandmother was trying to save me because I was like, "Yeah, we can go back. I'm okay. Like we can keep sightseeing." But really, I was so exhausted from just trying to continue to breathe and move around. But I didn't want to ruin the day. But Grandma was like, "I want to take a nap, so let's go home."
I was like, I'm picturing you at that point. It's like, can you just get me like a Darth Vader respirator? So I can just like walk around like.
Yeah.
This city has amazing sights.
But I did not get pneumonia somehow.
Over there.
But I did not get pneumonia somehow. I was 100% certain that I was going to get pneumonia again, and I did not. I did get a little bit sick, but I didn't get pneumonia when I got home.
And that's what matters, that you didn't die.
Yeah.
The day, anything you live through will only make you stronger. Well, we'll go with that. Yes.
Yeah. Though Mom is still paranoid about me going anywhere because of the fact that I like almost died twice. And I'm like, nope, that just means I have to always travel in the winter because even though it's cold and I hate it and sometimes the cold hurts too, it's dry the majority of the time in the winter places or drier. So I could probably be fine. I just have to not catch a cold because it's cold.
But here's the thing. I know your mom.
Oh, she doesn't care anyway. She doesn't want me to go anywhere.
I was about to say, that is sort of like secondary to the ulterior motive of don't leave. Don't ever leave. You must stay here forever. Right there. Where I know you're safe.
So like
right beside me.
Eventually my husband and I, probably in the far future because it's so fucking expensive, but we want to go to Japan. And I would love to see like the cherry blossoms and things like that, but those are in like spring and summer and it's extremely humid because I watch the J-vloggers, so I would never get to see them without
like,
being in huge amount of pain or passing out or getting pneumonia or something. I'd have to go in the winter.
With Japan, I'm just like, imagine if the state of California was an island.
Mm-hmm.
And that's essentially Japan as far as, geography.
Slightly broken up more though.
A little bit, but not by much, because of like land mass wise, even elevation wise, it is essentially the state of California, but it's completely surrounded by water.
Yeah. But I totally understand humidity way more now, since it's almost killed me.
I have this Disney dream vacation like planned out that I've been saying like, okay, I am just waiting to win like a super big lottery at
Mhm.
some point. And there's no such thing as a poor American. There's only Americans who are not yet rich. So the moment that my rich actually reaches me, then I'm basically going to set up a big month-long vacation where I'm going to take all of my friends to like spend a week in every Disney park in the world. So it's going to be like, we're just going to like go east to be like, all right, start off at Disney World, then go to like Disneyland Paris, and then from Paris go to like Hong Kong, Tokyo, and then like come back through California, and then eventually be like just the whole
Oh yeah, we want to do that
world
too.
of Disney.
We totally want to do that too. I'm like, I will travel the world via Disney because you can go even more places if you take the Disney cruises.
And this is absolutely true.
I've thought about it.
Apparently, it's more Universal than I even realized. Oh no, Universal's the competitor. What am I saying?
But they don't even have that many parks.
I love how Thag says, I was born in California. It's a huge range of climates. Oh my gosh,
Yes.
don't I know it. Yeah, like Southern California is nothing like Central California is nothing like Northern California.
Yeah.
But that's one of the reasons that I also kind of see that being very similar to Japan. Like if you start like trying to compare like Hokkaido to Yokohama, it's like there's so much variation. But at the same time, I feel like once you're surrounded by water, the one thing you have in common is just going to be humidity. Like no matter where you go, there's not a whole lot of escape besides like, the top of a super tall mountain.
Yeah. Or like northern Japan is so snowy because it's so high.
Like when I was in high school, there was a short time that we actually hosted a foreign exchange student from Hokkaido, and that's how I kind of like know about a lot of like the area around there and how cold it gets. And he was like very sporty Japanese boy that was like into like snowboarding and all sorts of stuff like that. And I was just like, what are you doing in the American desert? Like, this makes no sense.
He wants a change.
It was always like, where do we go for mountains? And I'm like, not here.
The next state over.
It's like, go to Ruidoso, but that's like a 5-hour drive.
Oh my gosh. We don't have fancy
And
bullet trains.
We don't have a train.
Same with California. Ranges between snowy southern spur of the Pacific.
Yeah, right there at the northern end of California, totally snowy. So Blunder is actually from was born in Northern California.
I didn't know that.
So, yeah. So if
I know they traveled a lot.
I mean, yeah, being I guess you could basically say an army brat. You end up all over the place, from Northern California to South Carolina to Texas to eventually Arizona. You're just like all over. But I do know that the Blunder knows a lot about Sacramento, but he never has anything positive to say about Sacramento.
And then moves to North. Oh, that's a big difference.
Yeah, there was a time, like literally just like 2 years ago, Blunder and I were like seriously days away from moving to Oregon. Like we literally had like we we had I had a studio here in Arizona that we had originally created our YouTube channel in. There was a house that Blunder owned that we were living out of, and we were just like, let's just sell everything. So it's like I got rid of the studio. He sold off his house. In fact, he sold off his house with all of our furniture in it, so we didn't have to move anything, and that included like my whole bedroom and mattress and everything like that. And we were like already had our hotels picked out along the route to get up to Oregon. We had a real estate agent to talk to once we got there, and 3 days before we were supposed to start this trip to go, there was like suddenly Blunder was the one that was just like, hey, this neighborhood here in town that I was like, I've always wanted to live in, and the only reason that I wouldn't move to Oregon would be is if I could get a house in that one really cool neighborhood. There's a house for sale there right now in my price range, and I was just like, damn it.
I mean, I was happy. I was sad for you, but also very happy. I promise I did no spell.
I mean, it's fine. It's fine. The only reason that I was even mildly upset was that this happened literally days before the move. Had any of this happened several weeks beforehand, so that I didn't have to sell like all the furniture I really liked and all of my really cool stuff that I had in my studio and all sorts of stuff like that, it would have been great. But no, this literally happened right after everything was sold, and I just was like, I'm gonna there is murderous rage rising. You're lucky, Wisa.
Yeah, I remember that. Well, I think we did a good job. And we're at least entertaining, if not mildly-ish productive. So
I don't think I really did a whole lot today. I think I got, a good couple paragraphs in. I got like maybe a page and a half.
that's something.
I was like, I love our little streams and chats, but we are so not productive as far as writing goes.
No. Our chats, yes, we suck at being productive. But normally we are quite productive in sprints. Today is an outlier. I have proof. I can look at VODs. We definitely sprint more. Do we sprint as much as I sprint when I'm by myself? No, but that's okay.
Oh my gosh, Laura.
The ice coming.
No one ever does.
Nice, Laura. But what I was going to say was I always say any words you get is always better than having no words or less words than you had before. So you did great.
This is true, but I want to put one thing out there just because Laura was the one that brought up the ice pick. Do you know how hard it is to actually find an ice pick? I spent like a year trying to get an ice pick. I kept going from like store to store to store. No one sells ice picks. Yeah, try it. Go to Target, go to Walmart, try and get an ice pick. They do not have them, and I feel like it's because they don't want somebody just like taking it out of the packaging and murdering everyone in the store, because that's the only thing ice picks are actually legitimately good for.
The mob.
It's like, and guess what? After spending like a year and a half trying to get an ice pick, guess who no longer has an ice pick because it stayed with the last house?
Oh no. Sad face. Oh, Walmart sells guns, exactly.
But not ice picks, because ice picks are more dangerous.
Because you need finesse to use an ice pick.
Someone who is very skilled with an ice pick doesn't have to be at all worried about guns.
Mm-mm-mm.
They're the winner. They will win the Hunger Games 9 times out of 10, hands down.
Hands down. Love it. Well, would you like to tell everyone who you are one more time and say goodbye and where they can find you and all the thingamabobbies?
Oh my gosh, I forgot who I am for a second. I'm Bungle. Yeah, I'm Bungle. I am the second half of the Blunder and Bungle duo on YouTube that you can find us at YouTube. Oh my god, did I just see Batarang Ice Pick? Was that a thing that popped up on the screen? Was that Ice Pick but a Batarang? No, this is an apocalyptic weapon right there. Stop it. Don't give people ideas. Yes, second half of Blunder and Bungle duo, also part of Gaming Winos, youtube.com/@gamingwinos for gaming videos and hopefully bungle it up content soon, mostly that on social media. I just started the Threads today. Like, that was
I
fun.
saw that.
I have finally decided. I feel like X is dead, so I was just like, okay, I'm gonna jump on Threads and see if that's gonna be a thing.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm present, but I wasn't as present as I was on X, Twitter, whatever.
Yeah, we'll see if that changes. Oh my gosh, the Batarang's fangs and toes are the... No,
She's
you're
a horror writer. Originally, I have slightly converted her into erotica, but she originally writes horror. So if that explains context.
Laura, if you have any stories, like,
She does.
seriously, go check
I
out
can send
the Masquerade that Blunder and I read just last week. And if you have any stories that we can read on our channel, I would totally love to read one of your stories.
Bungle's channel is in the description. It's the Blunder and Bungle channel, not the Gaming Winos one.
But yes, that would be a lot of fun. I like doing stuff like that. Horror is Blunder's favorite category, so we always do a lot of that.
All right. Well, that is. Wait, hold on. Come, pause. There's your answer.
Oh. 101 stories published back in May. Yes, please. If you're like, I don't even care too much about word counts. Like, anything that we could turn into like a cool little video, I would love to do that. That'd be great.
Yeah, it's the story they did. The Masquerade is probably like a drabble, like stuff that you do, Laura. But it was really nice, and they did a lot of screen thingy stuff. It's nice. Go watch it. I'm being bad at describing things.
I love that.
I made more sense in my comment. My comment made better sense than I'm making right now.
You know what? It is my brain stopped working a while ago too, so it's fine. Everything's fine.
Actually, I think do I have will that do it? Is that gonna work? I don't know. Maybe ? I don't know if that's the right command. I don't know.
I almost said bread and breakfast. But found the video. Oh, awesome. Then yeah, just let me know if you have any desire to see a story that you've read.
Nope, I must have a different
to be redone, or not redone, but to be put on YouTube like that. I would be happy to do so. And then yeah, email me the same address that you sent the photo. I'd be happy to check it out.
All right, connections.
Absolutely.
I'm
Networking.
trying to slowly pull Bungle into the writing author to world.
You're doing awfully good job. I swear.
I'm like, just come hang out with me and do a little sprint. We'll play some games. And now we're like spending 3 hours talking.
Now we're gonna like basically have like a what do they call?
collab.
I almost said a they're in the business world they call it
I
like
don't know.
I don't know. It's a club
Collab.
basically that I almost said anthropologist. My brain is dead. Business anthropologists come together and talk about the things they've discovered. I don't know.
So one of her long ones is a 1980s Lovecraft LARP gone wrong
LARP.
story. LARP there. I was like, I have no idea what that is.
Oh my gosh, I
I
used
am
to
not
love
in the horror
LARPing. But I have so much cool music that I would put in for like a Lovecraftian thing that's like that really eerie kind of like 1920s like phonograph that's like not quite on key music. Oh my gosh, it's so creepy. Anyway, it's like we'll all come together and eventually see this is what happens. Like you're trying to get me to enter the writing community and I'm trying to get everybody to enter like the very like creepy community. Like everything I do is kind of like on the creepier side right now.
Well, Laura's has already been there. She lives there. She's just getting a vacation house in Erotica town with me. So and April, okay, we're setting up our little hole in AuthorTube of erotic writing.
You know what?
It's not very popular on AuthorTube right now, but everyone seems excited about it.
I don't think there's any problem with the crossroads between horror and erotica.
Oh wait, that's not what I meant to hit. This is what I meant to hit.
Anything eldritch is like my sweet spot. I'm like, tentacles, yes, daddy.
Well, I don't remember who said it. It may have been Des who said it, but the fact that because Laura writes horror and there's a lot of like descriptions and stuff in horror to like get things across, it translates so well in like descriptions for her romances. And reading the story that she wants my opinion on, that it should be erotica. It translates so well and it's so visceral in the most best way ever. It is definitely from her talent of horror. I was gonna send him the link for that.
Tiny Shivers. Okay,
It's a book collection.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see this. So definitely I will, send me a couple things in the email and I will look it all over tomorrow morning and just be like, I will make something of this if that is okay. Would love to.
All right. Well, we should really go. We should really go.
Yep, we're almost at 3 hours. We've reached the point in the evening where if this goes on any longer, all I'm going to do is talk about erotica, and then this is going to turn into a totally different kind of stream.
I mean, that wouldn't be bad, but
I mean,
yeah,
at least for you, this is your uncut channel.
That is true. I'm also not monetized anywhere, so nothing. I don't have any consequences. Not really.
It's like my erotica comes from starting off like We need to end. I'm gonna start talking about how I turned like Dragon Ball Z fight scenes and use that to get
We
inspired
talked
for how
about
to
that
write
like 2 weeks
Veronica.
ago.
I know, and I need to stop. I need to stop. I'm done. No.
We're gonna go. I'm gonna end stream now, guys.
Thank everyone for being here. I'm dealing with this today.
It's Friday. I don't know if we're gonna write or if I'm gonna play a game. Maybe I'll play a game.
Go watch all of Dolores' videos. They're
yeah.
amazing. And
Yes.
we'll eventually play some Minecraft too.
Yes. Okay. All the links and things and things are down below, and hit the subscribe and stuff.